The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And we're off 2 points on the S&P cash at 2463. We've made a couple of runs at 2470, which I suspect is fairly strong resistance. Are we going higher? Probably not. Are we going lower? We could. That has me a little bearish here. I've got a few positions in that. But again, market is pretty much thinking there's literally nothing that could happen that would move the market down. They're pricing nothing in for the downside, and that always has me nervous. Volume is a little bit better today in that we've got 2 billion shares to start the show, and my guess is that we're just getting a lot of bases covered kind of at the end of what should be fun buying. So we've got a little volume. We don't have much action yet, but my guess is that we will have action starting next Monday. And we've got a lot of news going on here today. We'll try to get to it because there isn't a great deal of action in the indexes. And we'll probably tell you why, because I think a lot of people are probably going to skip by this one fairly quickly. So we'll go through a few of the news points and then look at stocks in the second half of the hour. As always, we'd like to start off with a little bit of history.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1813, the United States gets its nickname, Uncle Sam. The name is linked to Samuel Wilson, a meat packer from Troy, New York, who supplied barrels of beef to the United States Army during the War of 1812. Wilson stamped the barrels with U.S. for United States, but soldiers began referring to the grub as Uncle Sam's, of course, for Samuel Wilson. The local newspaper picked up on the story, and Uncle Sam eventually gained widespread acceptance as the nickname for U.S. federal government. And on this day in 1813, we got a name. Here's probably the most important thing. We've been waiting for some of the leaks for Apple's Dog and Pony coming out next Tuesday. It will be the first big presentation from what they call the mothership, the $6 billion building, which is a testament to kind of the Gilded Age kind of thing, right? Where everybody built all those things and then they fell into ill maintenance a few years later. Question is, just as anybody else, would they pay $2 billion for it if Apple doesn't need it any longer? Just a thought. But what we do have is some leaks now. And in building any electronics, you want several ways to get your parts in case one manufacturer has a problem or a earthquake or a meteor hits it, or in the case of Apple, 8 parts will come from Samsung, and they are all within 20 miles of Seoul, South Korea. That also opens up one of the biggest things if we saw any shooting happening in or around South Korea. What does this do? It literally puts Apple out of business for some time. We talked to you about their big push to move manufacturing to Austin, Texas. I think we talked a little bit more about that last week and how they moved 3,500, how they've hired 3,500 engineers to go in to some of the Texas Instruments and other empty buildings that used to be used for silicon manufacturing and design. We also know that they indeed have manufacturing problems. They are, at least the rumors are pointing at Samsung for that. And on the same day that we learn about this, we learn that Apple has slipped to number 3 as the biggest supplier of iPhones. Of course, it makes a lot more money than anybody else, but Huawei, the Chinese company, has far surpassed Apple in the last quarter. So Apple has moved from having 100% of the business to 3 years later being tied with Samsung and the rest of the group doing Android, to becoming the 3rd place player in this. But this brings up a real interesting idea, and that is, I'm going to say 90% chance Apple doesn't have any problems. There's no war in North Korea. But let's just think about the way that the Chi-Coms, that's the Chinese communists, for you people in Lutz, Florida, think. And even if they don't like what the North Koreans are doing, do you think how much do you think they'd be happy as if at least a few guns went off and most of Samsung's manufacturing plants got destroyed, and maybe even their memory division kind of blown up? Do you think there would be some alligator tears coming out of China, being able to do that and then withdraw? But just one thought out there. The one thing, though, is, all the time that I was in the electronics business, we were always looking for second and third places to buy any component so that we weren't stuck. Thank God Altera was probably the worst product we had to source because there was only one manufacturer of it. You can't get two. But, of course, in their infinite wisdom, especially companies and customers like the U.S. government won't buy from Altera unless they have multiple plants. And this is one of the reasons Apple kind of ticked off at Samsung. There is only one plant making these new organic LED screens that will be in this version 8. And if a stray rocket or a kimchi fart went in the direction of Samsung's OLED manufacturing plant, I think it's 20 miles southeast of Seoul, that could bring everything to a crashing halt. Sometimes just small earthquakes are enough to disrupt and move dust around in these plants, and you have to wait 2 weeks before you can actually make anything again. My thought on this is that if you wanted to have a very good bet, you would probably look for, options 6 months out for 50 cents or 25 cents, maybe down 25 or 40 bucks or something like that in Apple. Most of the time, nothing's going to happen. You'll take a small loss. If the worst does happen, you retire, because that's the way it is. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. Had some email. You, of course, can always email me at path@tfnn.com. And kind of the question is, I'm going to paraphrase it, but what happens in the first shot in a North Korea, South Korea skirmish? How many points is that off of Apple? And I'd say 25 points. I think you could see a move 25 points lower. And this gets back to something I've been talking about for a while. These stocks are now fairly high, and why they probably will go higher. If they go lower, they're probably going significantly lower. And I think with the VIX still at fairly low values, I question the idea of owning the actual equity over owning the options, whether you're long or short. Either way, options are considerably cheap at this point. And the idea is to have some more money tomorrow when one of these things blows up in your face. And they will. If you trade long enough, you'll get one of these guys. But I think the risk now gets a little higher, especially for Apple. I wouldn't be, if there was any real war, I would not be surprised to see Apple within 2 weeks at the start of it trading less than $100. And since it's the biggest stock in the market, can you imagine what that would do to the rest? It would cause selling everywhere else. It may even be the kind of thing that actually has them stop the markets from trading. Certainly would be hitting circuit breakers. So just know out there that even if you want to be long, you think the right thing to be long, you can buy some way out of the money puts for the S&Ps or Apple or something like that. That would put a floor under this stuff. And we know it is a ongoing problem. So I'm just saying maybe if you're living on the the east coast of Florida, You probably already have to have your insurance on your house. And I think we can see some hurricanes out in the Gulf in the market. They may not come this way, but I think you'd probably much rather have some cheap insurance if they do. Cutting the cord, Comcast was down 6% after it expects to lose up to 150,000 video subscribers in Q3. And it couldn't happen to a bunch of better folks. This, along with Disney's less than stellar description of its forward business practice, also saw Disney down several bucks. And again, I think that Disney has a lot bigger problems. When you look at them losing 150,000 video subscribers, that means that I'd say 90% of those people get ESPN. That means that you will see 150,000 less people have ESPN. So this is a snake eating its tail on this deal. If Comcast does not do well, it hurts ESPN and many of the Disney channels. And just the ongoing soap opera that is ESPN, that as far as every time I get a view of it, has very little to do with sports during the day. Has turned in kind of an activist wing for a bunch of the bozos that talk on it. I continue to think that this is a problem where you've got at least half of America who probably could care less, and that number may actually go higher. But we're seeing the tipping point in the rearview mirror, and couldn't happen to a bunch of guys. What else do we have? If you didn't notice over the last couple of days, I posted in the den a few times a website that shows you the percentages of a chance of a Fed rate hike. Those have all turned to dust. The Fed rate hikes are 0 for 2017. In fact, there's only a 1 in 25 basis point move being priced in now and the end of 2018. So things change. Not anywhere any faster than in the stock market, but if you're looking at that, I think that says everything that you need to know. GoPro did have a nice bounce out and was up 15% a little earlier. It expects to be profitable. Again, profitable is dubious when you talk about Nicholas Woodman, the CEO. He went on CNBC today and blew that he reiterated his previous guidance and said the review will be in the range between 290 and 310 million in gross margins, 36 to 38%. That's still fairly good, but it's priced like an Apple or an Intel with 65% margins. This is on my list of Walking Dead stocks. I don't think anything it changes anytime soon. Yeah. So just, be well. Somebody in the comment was just, I think, coming back in on if anything happened in the stock market. You probably, I said the S&Ps. I'm going to say that you probably want some fairly decent downside protection on the NASDAQ. Because Apple's 14% of the NASDAQ 100 with the ETFs. They would have to sell to raise money for Apple. It's got a huge major target on the side of the NASDAQ. And if you're a little tin-pot dictator, you probably know that all you have to do is launch one missile. Don't kill a bunch of people, kill a few. But blow up the Samsung plant down there and what it would do to the rest of the world. So, just a thought. It is a mad market. So we're going to get right into charts. Again, not a lot happening now. Everybody's kind of taking a wait and see attitude. We are at the very end of any kind of ability for someone to call this fun buying. But the way that the calendar actually came out this month, not beyond the scope of reason. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648, and we'll be glad to take the call. Question about BLDR. And this is a long email. Fisher resigning, Janet Yellen quitting, full moon, Jackson Hole, Draghi blabbing. Is it save the Deutsche Bank strategy? Born in Denver. So let's take a look at Builder's First Source. Again, interest rates today are as low as they've been ever. So what can you say about these stocks? They're probably still a little weak out here. Builders First opened a little lower, has gone a little higher. To me, it was Hovenia out this morning that was most interesting in this building space. And if you looked at this, where are we at? Probably have to talk about it when we come back. But tried to go a little higher, has rolled back. It's kind of a little doji out here now, but this is not looking good for at least a handful of them. If you can't do well in the lowest interest rates ever, do you deserve to be in business? I don't know. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
presence in and what presence they would have in Houston. And probably a better thing to do would be to look at Home Depot, because I know they do in both. And you've had some pretty nice moves up here in Home Depot. Again, when you get into one of those stocks that's kind of based on a theme, which is, of course, all the rebuilding that can go on, I'd need to know exactly how many places they have fairly close to the Gulf and what happens on Monday. So interesting idea. You know you're going to win with HD or Lowe's, but Builder Source or some of those third and fourth ran building supply companies, much harder to tell depending on how and what's going on. So let's go back to the email. We got that one taken care of. Okay. I think we got that one taken care of. Question, take a look at Apple and their actual thing. You know, are they off? Not, you know, everybody pretty much a true believer in Apple. And that's going to be a tough one to get people to actually sell. This is the kind of company that if it's going to fail, it's going to fail and trap a ton of, I mean, billions and billions of dollars up at the highs, which is another thing. There is no risk this thing could look at, or the investors and the longs could look at, that would ever make this thing go down. There should be more leaks in the next day or two. Most of the leaks have not been charitable toward Apple. And of course, they've got their big shindig on Tuesday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Other stocks want to keep an eye on. Some of them look like maybe trying to make some kind of low. Interesting time or season, though, for Harley-Davidson to make and test a low, but it has. It's July 18th low at 46 bucks. Gets tested to 45.53 a couple of days ago with just 3 million shares. But again, you have about 3 days for these things to bounce, and if they don't, they're probably going to have a longer consolidation. Just the patterns in this one, I think it could. Heartland Transportation. What do we have here? Yeah, it makes some highs. Let's look at a little longer. This one's testing this high back here on December 9th that had $22.67 written on the bill. 884,000 shares came into it. Today we got about 300,000 shares. So again, I don't like these. You know, is it horrible? No, but certainly the volume in September pretty horrible for testing some of these. Saw this one earlier in the day, which is Kinross Gold, and as of yesterday, it was testing its previous high of 35 million shares on 11 million shares 2 days ago. Yesterday, 12.3 million shares. Today, it is going through that high on just a little less than 11 million shares today. So the energy was just a little off this July 7th high. We may be getting ready for some kind of consolidation in gold prices after this last run. Ralph Lauren, did he roar? Lauren. The nice pop here on August 9th was a 2-day gap off of earnings, got up to $90.45 with 3.5 million shares. The last 2 days, 1.7 million shares. Today, just a little less than 800,000 shares. These retail stocks have not been doing good, and stocks like this and GoPro pretty much just bouncing on dead cat bounces. Again, GoPro literally ran up and ran a lot of shorts out of the up to the August 8th high at $10.58. That had almost 10 million shares. We spiked through that on 30 million shares and then sold back down 10% off of that high. Still a fairly decent gap out here. Again, these living dead stocks are just always hanging around. Take multiple years to go out of business if they've done it right and pay themselves huge salaries in the meantime. Mallinckrodt, you always wonder when this thing is going to take its next huge big leg down. It did so a couple of days ago on September 5th with 10 million shares compared to the 2.5 million shares on the previous August 15th low, $35.04. This one's not really bouncing out here, although the volume is contracting now. Another one, ServiceNow, hitting a new high. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same company that does all the emergency repairs for houses and floods and tornadoes and hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. July 27th, 115.85, and it's through it today. Certainly doesn't look like that kind of volume's coming in, but it could certainly on Monday. 5 million shares with less than 1 million shares so far today. See if there's anything else out there. Look at the XME, which is the miners. See whether we had anything going on it. The July 26 high, 32.67, 7.3 million shares got into it with half that on September 5th. Really haven't pulled back that much, 2 million shares yesterday, but just 1.3 million shares today for fairly light volume. Ambev also on my radar. Okay. Ambev, 30 million share high, May 16th, $6.38. 30 million shares yesterday. We got into that with 23 million? 15 million shares yesterday as it broke through that high. Today, just about 7.5 million shares. Going from Ken from Connecticut. He wants to look at PIR, thinking that maybe 430 is a buy point. Again, while you get a few of these dead cat bounces, I think I would take an abundance of caution with this one. It has not been doing well. It is probably a little better off that most of his shops are not in the big malls. They're in strip malls or in freestanding locations themselves. So they don't have, it's quite the stink that the giant Metroplex mall has. But we do see something that could come back in here. I would still want to see this thing retest $3.96. In retail, I'm going to go with the abundance of caution and say that without a retest of that low on, I mean no volume, would be before I'm interested in Pier 1. That's just me. Always a scaredy cat. But, hey, I'll play a little clip of what scaredy cats think and why they're in the business so long. From Art Cashin. I just thought about it. I haven't played that in a while. We'll be back in a second.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to open your portfolio to a world of opportunity, consider the new market-safe emerging currency CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 5 equally weighted currencies from Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, and Turkey at a time when experts see great potential for global growth. Even better, it features a 7.0 leverage factor, which means you could earn a potential market upside payment of 7 times the CD's performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. The September 28th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And what do we have? That was Ken in Connecticut on Pier 1. Again, man, I don't think a lot of these other dead cat bounces, I don't see anything that's truly changed. I would like to see after these things have come off this big, maybe a 3 or 6 month consolidation back at the lows when these things have been this beat up. You might have a few day bounce out of these things, but man, the risk reward is pretty horrible on some of these. You can, of course, give me a call at 877-927-6648. And I don't know what else you can say about it other than that. 877-927-6648. Oh, you can email me at path@tfnn.com, as Ken from Connecticut did. Or you can post a message in the den. So what else do we have out here? Okay, Amis Therapeutics. Been watching the biotechs a little bit. You had a nice big run up to 1405 on FOLD. That's the July 19th high with 8 million shares. Got into it with 2.5 million shares. This thing's pulled back a little bit. Not a lot of juice yet so far today, but again, you got to give these things a little bit of time. LAZ, Lazard, down fairly decently today. It's broken some lows. Looks like the next low out here is $38.23. That's the January 11th low. We did Mallinckrodt, PHB. Do we have anything else? U.S. Steel. Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. Oh, I also forgot to play the thing I was going to play. As I said, I'm kind of a nervous Nelly. Always worried about the market taking back a huge amount from me overnight, because it happens in the market. Most people get lulled into a false sense of security. I heard this one day and made sure I got a copy of it. And this was on one of these days where the market was starting to pull back a little bit, but it's kind of the way that I always thought. Anyway, this is Art Cashin on one of his last, kind of at the end of the day when I think we were down 300 or 400 points some years ago.
Men of a certain age only survive in the business because the first thing they look at when they enter a room is the exit sign. Right.
that's me. First thing is, where can I park my rear end that's to the back wall of the business so I can see the gunslingers coming in, and where's that exit sign so I can find a way out of here if it all proverbially hits the fan. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Was there something else Okay, yep, I'm a big chicken, but that means I've also lasted in this business about 99 times longer than all the other people that I remember starting with. So, yeah, Jesse James, he wasn't sitting in. I think, are you talking about the guy that died with the dead man's hand? I think that's a better analogy. Jesse James got shot by his friend in the back when he was putting something up on a wall. But yeah, I think you were thinking about Wild Bill Hickok, right? Who always sat with his back to the wall, but didn't. And yeah, I think may have had a death wish. Anyway, United States Steel, which I always like.
Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel.
And we've got United States Steel. Depending on what Hyman Roth has to say about U.S. Steel, you gap down on Monsters volume back on April 26. Got back up, what was that volume? 101 million shares. Got back into it with half the volume, a little less than 50 million on July 26. Got back up to it with just 19 million shares on the 5th. You kind of just come back up here, but I'm kind of thinking that about 28.50, 29 bucks. If you don't get any more juice back into this thing, this one could be set up for one more trip down here to $18.55. You're going to have a lot more going on. Quick round of the big flyers, NFLX, see if anything's happening in that. Both of these companies, both Apple and Netflix, are battling over the rights to the James Bond franchise going forward. Apple wants it for its Apple service. I think that means that we can also think that maybe there's a revamped Apple TV coming out on the 12th, and that part of that is going to be a 4K Apple TV. I don't know how much that matters, because all they do is take the 4K and compress it down to 1K. So can they say, yeah, did it start 4K? Yes. Are you actually going to get 4K? Your mileage may vary a huge deal in that. Netflix. So you came down. This was the one that I said, if you were going to buy something, this one had the best pattern of all of these. You gapped up with a huge volume of almost 42 million shares back on July 18th. This thing has come back down, and of course on August 21st, you had a test of that huge volume on just 6.5 million shares. It's gotten back up to this gap. This is where you needed about 10 million shares, and you got 5 million today. You had almost 9 million yesterday, but you're still a little shy. This whole shelf from when this thing came down on the 27th of July to when it fell down again on the 8th is that resistance level. So you're within about $1 or $2. My thought here is that unless you can come up with a compelling reason for Netflix to go higher, I think that this was that's the trade right there. And maybe you've got 1 or 2 more days in it. But I think I'd probably be, unlike Bill Hickok, cashing my chips in and planning to actually use them. But that would be it. Okay. Anything else out here? We'll take a quick look at Amazon. Gapped up a little bit. There was some news out yesterday. I don't know if it was true or not. Maybe Tom will talk about it today. I think he was waiting for some of his Amazon shipment stuff to come in. I'd already ordered mine last week. It got here Monday. So the only thing I needed that I was short was dog food. And I got that today. And no lines around the building, nothing else. No end of the world. Seemed like everybody's figured out that they're all prepared. They got their sandbags, their food. And it was kind of quiet, actually, at lunch when I went by it. But anyway, Amazon up, not Walmart. Amazon a little bounce out here. But this thing is not, even in the run-up, didn't really do that much. So this thing just looks like it's consolidating more around this $650 to maybe $1,000 area. We'll see. We'll be back in a minute. We'll look at a couple of the big stocks on Wall Street before we wrap up the day.
Tom O'Brien has just announced that he'll be coming to Boston September 30th for a free workshop, The Art of Timing the Trade. Join Tom O'Brien Saturday morning, September 30th at the Boston Marriott in Burlington, Massachusetts, as he breaks down his trading methodology and provides you with the tools to become a more successful and profitable trader. Everyone that attends in person will receive a free signed copy of Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. Daryl Martin from Apex Investing Institute will also be presenting for 90 minutes at this free event.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Join me in Boston on September 30th as I return to my hometown for a workshop about the art of timing the trade. I look forward to seeing all the tigers and tigresses for this special free event.
All action starts early at 7:30 a.m. with a continental breakfast and wraps up at about 1 p.m. Topics that Tom will be covering during his presentation include quality volume, cause and effect, ABC structures, swing points, and much, much more. For all the information on this free Boston event taking place Saturday, September 30th, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we're back. Want to look at Microsoft. A nice big move today in it higher. And, the news just continues to be very good out of Microsoft. Up on a lighter volume so far today. I'm actually writing for the Tech Insider tomorrow, something that's looks like it's going to be pretty good for an October release of a new product. I'll cover that more in the Tech Insider, which is my investment newsletter that comes out on Friday. You can always go to the front page of TFNN and check that out. Intel, see if things going on in this one. Long term, I like this. Short term, it's at the whim and mercy of the ocean that is the marketplace. Down a little bit on light volume, though, today so far. Continue to think a lot of good things are going to happen to these guys long term. When we talk about, I had actually somebody email me about where Intel manufactures most of their stuff. They've got some stuff in China, but I'm going to say 80% most everything is built in Taiwan these days. And from Taiwan manufacturing to global foundries to the rest of them, they're all there in Taiwan. And that would be, if you wanted to talk about, geopolitical events spilling out of North Korea, Japan, a minor amount, but Taiwan, if you saw I can't even say it, fisticuffs around Taiwan or that Taiwan Strait, you could look at all these big manufacturing companies that have their fabs in Taiwan having an issue. So, what else can you say? Is that about it? That's about it. Well, barring any major changes, I will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. I always have the ripcord ready, though, if that horrible Mrs. Irma comes looking for me. But my guess is we're not going to see that till Monday. So I may or may not be here Monday, depending on Irma. But I plan on it. So when you can, not when you have to. See you Monday. All right, Mark.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.